SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Here to Chicago, and I thought it was deserved. And do you like having the spotlight on you guys? Where I mean, it's kind of all attention's on the defense and what you guys accomplished and what you're capable of.
Yeah, I appreciate them picking us for sure. I like hanging with these guys. I'm happy we're here. We're having fun.
When did you know you were coming? How long ago?
A week ago.
What was that conversation like?
He just told us after a workout. Yeah. We take you guys to the Big Ten Media Day.
Did you take them anywhere?
Huh?
Did you take them anywhere?
Not yet. No.
You planning on it?
Yeah, I am. Probably just take them to my mom's or just different neighborhoods that I grew up with and show my friends and stuff like that. We got teammates here too, so I guess take them a few places.
You brought Daryl Stewart up here a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, I did.
What was that trip like?
That was fun. Yeah, I had took him to the basketball court. We had a lot of fun up there. He met some guys, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun here. It's a great city.
Raequan, when you guys are one of the top defenses in America, so statistically, you can't get much higher than close to number one. How do you guys work? What are you guys working on to say, okay, we have to improve, even though we really can't improve a number that much? What are you working on most to improve as a defense, and then you personally?
As a defense, we want to affect the game, and I feel like we're not affecting the game as much as we could have, taking the ball off guys and changing the momentums of the game. And individually, I feel like I'm a lot better pass rusher, and I definitely want to put that explosiveness on the field.
Will you talk about?
Have you talked to Malik at all?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
You see that stuff.
I don't know, man. That's. I feel like he's a good guy. I don't know what's going on through his head. I honestly don't know what's. It's definitely something internal with him. And, I don't know. I feel like talking to him, you would probably get the best out of it. I probably do need to call him and talk to him. Yeah.
Has he been around at all, you guys?
Oh no, he hasn't been around the football. I talk to him all the time. He's my guy, but I haven't talked to him recently.
How do you approach that? You talk to him about everything you hate, what's up?
Yeah, Malik is the type of guy you don't really want to. He's to himself, so it's hard to try to talk to somebody that's to himself all the time, you know. And I just hope he's all right. You know? It didn't click to me either. I didn't understand it, but I hope my guy's good.
Raequan, talk to us about the backup defensive tackles. Naquan is over there, of course. You got Deshaun Mallory. There's others. I know I'm leaving names out, but those guys, Joe Bacci said they may be the most underrated guys because you and Mike get so much attention, and he wasn't belittling you because you guys are just so deep. Would you talk about those backups?
Yeah, that's you got a bunch of young guys that you're going to be hearing their names like Jacob Slade. Zach Slade, Mike Fletcher, J.D. DePlank. There's a lot of guys that are good, and they just gotta wait their turn. You know, they got some players coming. Y'all got a lot of good players coming through Spartan Nation.
Talking about Michael Fletcher, and that's a young man that came in super highly recruited, could have went just about anywhere in America he wanted to. And are you going to take him under your wing a little bit?
Yeah, we already took him under the wing a little bit. Yeah.
Good.
Obviously, being from Chicago, when did you fully understand the intensity of the Michigan State rivalry?
I got that the first day on campus. I think I had to understand that. Everybody was stressing it, and you'd say, all right, yeah, I got you, but you didn't really feel it until I probably felt it like the game week, and they showed videos, and I was like, oh man, Now I see why all the Michigan guys hate Michigan. So it took me the first day on campus to realize how real that rivalry is.
For someone who's not from the Midwest, how would you describe it in your own words?
I'm from the Midwest.
I'm just saying, for someone who's not familiar, though, with the rivalry, how would you describe it to them?
Somebody's not
Yeah.
familiar. All right. Hate, I would say.
How did Coach D'Antonio describe it to you guys?
Definitely said, he said, you guys will understand. That's what he said. You will understand.
Kept it pretty simple
That's
then?
all he did. Yeah.
The Madden ratings came out.
I heard about those.
And I wanted to ask you, if there is somebody who's the best player on your team, the strongest and the fastest, who would those guys be?
The fastest, Andre Welch. The strongest, I'll go with Mike Panasiuk.
That was part of the conversation.
What are the other ones?
Just the best player overall.
The best player? Oh, Joe Bocce. He's like a game breaker.
If you had to rate yourself in those three ratings too, what would you rate yourself?
From the Madden ring, from 99? Strength, I would put 90. Speed, I'll give me 75.
You do know how big you are, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, actually 80.
They're hard on those rookies, though, man.
What is the last one?
Overall, just like
Overall, I'll take an 80. All right. 80 overall.
thanks for
Raequan, midway through last year, you went on the road to Beaver Stadium, beat the top 10 Penn State team. What did that do for your confidence moving forward? What was the kind of takeaway from that game, I guess, that you carried the rest of the way? I know every game you take the same approach, but it had to be a special one for you guys.
It was special for us. That game was special because your coaches preach all the time, finish in the fourth quarter, finish, and we actually finished one, and it was a game winner, so it felt amazing.
The last couple of years, you beat them in the final minute. They're coming to East Lansing this year. When you got a team's number like that lately, do you anticipate they'll come in with their blood boiling a little bit more?
Yeah, most definitely. They should.
Thanks.
Raequan, how you doing, man?
Good.
When I don't know if maybe you asked him, but when I assume, does Coach D come to you to say, I want you to come to be part of this today? Or do you go to him and be like, hey, I want to go if you're looking for guys? Or I'm just wondering about how it came about.
He came and told us
Okay.
that he wants us to come.
What would that mean to you to be able to come back to Chicago and represent your team as one of the only three guys, from here?
Yeah, it means everything. It means that he trusts us and he respects us for having us here.
What about, for you personally, though, just being from
me
the city and
personally?
everything? Yeah.
Yeah,
Could you ever imagine that you'd be back up here and
definitely
representing
did.
a Big Ten team and everything?
Definitely did not think I'll be here, and I'm definitely happy he chose me.
For sure. What about, I heard you talking about Joe a little bit earlier. He's on this list for a community service award, the All-State Good Works team, and he was saying that he goes to hospitals and schools and all this stuff. Is there a side of him that we don't see on Saturdays that lends itself to that community service aspect? What's he like sort of away from the game? Where
I just think Joe's just one of those guys when you get to know him, you're just like, man, he's just a great guy overall. Every aspect, he's just a good guy. He's genuine, and he's a good guy in every aspect. Being a human, to be quite honest with you.
How much emphasis are you and Mike putting on developing that next wave? Obviously, you guys are gone after this year, and you have big expectations for this year. But how much are you guys emphasis are you two putting on developing that next wave of
we've been
interiors?
telling them that all off season, y'all the ones that's next. It's y'all turn now. Y'all can't sit and watch us now. It's y'all time. So we just try and bring all those guys along, and we know how all those guys are going to be ready.
Who are some of those next guys in line that you think have big futures ahead of them?
It's a lot of them. On that D-line, it's a lot of them. We got Zach Slade, Jacob Slade, we got Raequan, we got Deshaun Mallory, you got JD, you got Mike Fletcher, you got it's a lot of young guys that are really young that's going to be really good.
And what about you guys for our defense? So when you have this season that you did last year, how do you sort of try and go about topping it? I mean, what areas are still out there for you as a defense to still get better in?
Just affecting the game. I feel like there's a lot of areas you can point out in particular if you want to be a stat guy. But I feel like just in general, just affecting the game, taking the ball off people, scoring touchdowns. We got to affect the game more as a defense.
Apologies if you were asked this already. When it was coming down to make a decision about whether to go to league or stay in school, what was the feedback like? Did you get a sense for what NFL teams were looking at you?
No, I didn't even enter the portal or anything. I didn't enter any of it.
You didn't receive any kind of feedback from
I
the
did.
NFL?
I got different. I forget the letter, but I didn't even read it, honestly, to be quite honest with you. Someone brought me a letter, but it was like a training thing or something. I'm not sure.
So your decision was
combine or something.
Okay, so you had pretty much made your decision.
Yeah, I already
come
made my
back.
decision to come back. So I didn't even have to reach out to them or anything like that. I knew I was coming back.
Okay. And how do you, when you know you're going into the NFL in a year, I mean, what, individually speaking, what have your goals been in terms of just trying to, just add to the toolbox a little bit?
Yeah. With I feel like I got a lot of attributes that can get me to become a dominant player. So chasing dominance is a thing that I want. So going to the next level. If you want to be the most dominant player, you got to be motivated day in and day out. So I feel like I'm motivated, and I'll be all right, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Following up that question, what do you approach differently this year, knowing that this is your final year? Or do you change anything?
You don't really change everything, but you just you just realize that you're in the moment and these are all your guys. And it ain't gonna be moments like this all the time in life, so take advantage.
Raequan, I got an interesting email from a mom who you were out eating at a fast food restaurant and all these kids recognized you and she felt terrible because you never even got to eat, your food got cold, you were hugging kids, you were taking pictures of kids, you were signing autographs. She even said one kid asked if you could sit in your lap. I'm just curious, that's who you are. You care about people. People matter to Raequan Williams, and I'm just curious for you, does it ever get old? Because she said she thought you had more fun than the kids. Does it get old to you? Or do you remember being that little kid, and so when you can make them all smile?
Yeah, I used to be, because I'm so big, I used to be like, I have to be a mean guy and everything like that, but that went out the window when I realized, and I can be myself and just be me, and everybody still accept me. So I ain't got to be a mean guy. I can still care about people and everything, and still get respect from others.
Faith is a big part of your family. Your family doesn't hide that. They care about their faith. It matters to you. How much is faith a part of Raequan Williams' life?
You got faith is the big thing in everybody's life, I feel like. So just being you and staying true to yourself it means everything to me.
How does it feel to have your coach say one day you'll be the mayor of the city of Chicago up there?
It's a great feeling, honestly. It shows what he thinks about me as my character and as a person. So I appreciate it. I never once told Coach D I wanted to be a mayor. I don't know where he got that from, but I appreciate him having a.
He said it was your dream.
Yeah.
I appreciate him. I appreciate it.
But
He knew it before you did.
He did.
Do you have any political aspirations for life after football?
I mean, I can see myself doing it, being a mayor. I can see myself wanting to fix a lot of problems in my hometown, honestly. But I haven't gave too much consideration to it. But I definitely can see myself doing something of that fashion, I think.
Obviously, trying to solve the gun violence epidemic is the #1 cause that's dear to your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Way too many guns out here right now. Trying to change that would be. We definitely need to change that. I feel like that's the biggest thing that's right now. All this gun violence and everything, and it only comes from guidance. You get a little more guidance out there, give people a direction to go. I feel like it would be better.
At the risk of asking probably the most difficult question in the